Basically, I need to play through the third map without buffs and keep all the buffs for the boss, for sitting side, if I want to win.
Rain, fire, and rot. Is there no sanctuary from this madness? Trenches and tents. The front lines of a war.
I play with a runway. I can't go to the other map because they all got fire resist. Here, I can whack everyone.
War rewards only resignation.
Receive an extra mineral water. I did. Yeah, I keep 3 for the boss.
Supplies this way, if you can make it.
Academics cash.
They stand guard even now.
Mrvic, mrvic,
Deathless
mrvic.
and dreaming.
The ordained.
Lethality writ large. Anxiety foments insidious fears. Cooperation is the key. Messy, but effective. Bravo!
I'm thinking about the sitting side, I'm not even thinking about this combat. If I have enough healing on everyone, I should just force sitting side. Like literally throw everything I got at him. Kill a drummer first.
We are the flame, burning brightly for all the world to see.
Start down.
The Wainwright awaits, eager to ply his trade.
Then they're fast.
A righteous action. The past is gone. Let it die. past is gone. Let it die.
Well.
Giving into madness is easier than holding out against it. They are heroes. An elementary problem, is it not? Push forward. Lamentably, there is no other choice.
If I get Oblivion's Ingress on the left, I'll go for Oblivion's Ingress here. If not, I'll go through the lair. Shit, this is bad. Give me an option to dodge. I can dodge. Immobilize
I
boss.
trust you have calculated your odds carefully. This will not be easy. Empowered, emboldened. lethality writ large. A breakthrough. Righteous action. Winds and foul tidings. No doubt the source is within.
I was hoping for an easier fight for the start. Not this shit.
Steady yourself.
Will someone stress heal man at arms today? No. Not today. Really? Nah, they're unyielding. Refuse to die. I could push one more fight because of relics and bubbles. I guess. Hey. And then I don't fight the boss. We're gonna do it like that. elites with a drummer. Fuck me when I push this fight.
Steady yourself. The slow suffering begins.
All ordained.
Bravo! On to the next. Lethality writ large. A simple variable, easily resolved.
Don't care what are the boss rewards. Don't give a fuck. Hey! Thanks for the follow.
A simple choice. At least it should be. Procrastination of the inevitable is futility itself.
I don't care. Don't care about the reward, about anything at all. Don't give a fuck. All I want to do is reach the sitting side.
Who will face the half-remembered horrors of their past?
And after all, there's 2 hero shrines. Mission reward is 2 mastery points, or I can pick 2 hero shrines if that's same shit. Only I don't fight. As far as loading goes, who the fuck cares? It's Dark Run.
He chatters incoherently, but his prices remain
He
fixed.
doesn't want to sell healing. Traveling heal. That's a good one. For men at arms. I won't be using below on a boss ever. 33% chance, and this will convert no matter what. Now there is each ally on combat start. Both are good. But definitely Retribution will profit more out of Stone Ma. We got food. I don't want mold, I want food. On combat items there's nothing. We go with dodge. Traveling heal is also great. Oh, crits. Dodge. His food. Above 100 relics heals all. I can go below that. I don't care. For health, I don't care. He doesn't offer healing here. That sucks. Like this. Without traveling heal. Oh, this shit might be a hospital. I got one
All
mastery.
that matters is the flickering torch you bear.
2 if I go to the left. Water is stressed.
Look ahead. A place to reflect, remember, and reconcile.
Only 2. I can suffer a meltdown, but it wouldn't be good. It just wouldn't be good at all. That's my only healing. Stun. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 healings for the final boss. Need 1 more healing cell. Although I got mineral rich spring water. Who's got a crown? Okay. Six. We got exemplar.
Loathing made manifest.
Is they stunned?
Cooperation is the key. A slow dissection.
Yes.
An unavoidable
Yes.
end.
It's a lot of tokens. Really a lot.
In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
Remove crit. Remove riposte. Remove damage. Only armor remains. Riposte. It depends what the fuck responds.
A simple kindness.
Six. Won't miss forever. There we
Is
fucking
no
go.
time to falter. Excellent work. A brilliant conclusion.
Broken motherfucker.
Slow suffering begins.
I'm gonna risk it. I need to risk it.
In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
Shit. Of course you don't die. Can we fix shit up or not? Let's get it.
A little help
I need to do
impeccably
it.
timed. Sweat so proud, unsteady stances. Exhaustion takes hold. Empowered, emboldened. A breakthrough.
Shit is that? Put a crown on this mass, and we're good to go.
An inkling of potency
But it's
still
the end.
lingers in some of these well-worn relics.
They've blinded 66% crit. That's so freaking OP on a leopard, that item. It's amazing. Leopard, there's an item that converts blind to damage. Okay. And this one, if you're blind on the end turn, this one on a start, if you're blind, it gives him crit. And then when he gets to play, blind gets converted to damage. So he goes damage and crit. Easy 100 plus on a level. Easy.
We would come here in summers of years gone to write, think,
She lost breach.
and rest.
Oof. Combat starts dazed. Fuck me more before the boss. Fuck me up more.
Precious relics remind us of a time before the end. The means of mastery.
Only one that can burst, and it's this piece. Everyone else is damage over time.
Something to ease the rigors of the road.
Za 20 minut. Ne mogu nikako sada. Pazi samo, nemoj žuće da ga dovati. One, two, three, four. Healing. The one is extra. Now multiply it with 2, there will be 8 times I can heal for the sitting side. I need controlled burn. We won't use fire starter anymore. It can blind us. Heartlight can remove blind from the entire team. I know that fucker can blind. And I won't be using milk salt linen. So if I'm to upgrade, I should go with it. I'll go with it twice. Just in case. Okay. That's it.
The next stop is leagues away. Plan accordingly.
Can we fucking do it finally? On entering region, too stressed you everyone. Fucking game, man. I don't have Breacher anymore. Which means I need to open up with Pirouette.
Temple of failure and regret.
This is okay. Where's the crown? A line for pirouette.
Breakthrough.
Little shit.
A brilliant conclusion. To finish this quickly.
Gather's done. 10% chance to happen.
Weaken them, that another may finish the work. A slow dissection, an unavoidable end. In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
Make it stump. Really a stump. How about we get some stress heal? Come on. Not heal, stress heal. Not bad after the first fight. I really need them healed. Okay, the next one's gonna be Cardinal.
Let it die.
Before. It's not only a smoke, there are a lot of weather items that you can throw at them.
A brilliant conclusion. A slow dissection. An unavoidable end. Slow suffering begins.
Wrong move. Extremely wrong move. %25% chance. 1 out of 4 attacks he should gain a crit, not non-stop.
Lethality writ large.
Bad stress heal. The really bad stress heal. And that was even worse.
The loathing howls. colliginous cathedral, malign temple of the Iron Crown. The seething sigh, Sturder's avatar of ill-concealed rage.
I can't stop this. Can't reach that. There is no way.
Steady yourself. A simple kindness. A slow dissection. An unavoidable end. Bravo! Mistimed as directed. In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
He likes that wing and that's it, man.
madness grows in proportion to mounting pressure.
Fucking knew it, should have done it the other way around. Stop every fucking spell. What are you doing? What is this?
An opportunity.
Come on.
Wandered.
Straight up fucking trolling me. No other way to put this. It's trolling. Classic trolling.
Stroke.
Come on.
A little help impeccably timed.
There we fucking go.
Steady yourself. In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
She will crit without crit. Hey. She will. Pretty much. Although I need to do absent. Touch. I said I'm gonna go all in. From the start I knew it when I accumulated 8 heals. So all in it is.
Anxiety foments
I don't care about
insidious
meltdowns.
fears.
Fun, nothing, basic. Just for that. That item is saving my ass, man. On every turn. Double wings are scary.
A brilliant conclusion.
15 is enough to remove.
Lethality writ large.
You're gonna die now. This is the only boss I need on the Dark Run. I killed Denial boss on Dark Run. Only this one I can say I did it all. You're gonna fucking die. Meltdown. No meltdown.
An interminable conflict. simple kindness.
Come on, you fucking thing. Yeah! 4 times! And this is the first time on Infernal
Your fault
Run.
is not in burying your furies, but in thinking they were
Under
such a
50% altar upgrades. And the team that got it is
Shadow's
even
advance
funnier.
has been halted for a time.
I never went for candles, that's why the low amount of candles. I went for sitting side from the start. I was dropping candles along the way. There's literally nothing else left for me to see. Nothing.
An ocean of emptiness. Slowly.
I finished the game multiple times, so with a torch. And I finished once Denial, Infernal, Dark Run, and once Resentment, Dark Run. Now we wait for chapters to unlock. What we're gonna do though is a full feedback and a full review for Darkest Dungeon 2 Altar of Hope update.
Between the mythos of ancient cultures was not a new area of study for either of us.
That's what we're gonna
But
do
it was
immediately.
there that we first noticed the pattern. The crossroads, where lost souls hope to find their way. To know the abyss, one must embrace it. Hunted, harried, a fugitive seeking to outpace the past. A murderous melody lingers, long after the final chord has been struck.
So, the Altar of Hope, Darkest Dungeon 2, the latest update. We're gonna do a full feedback and a full review for the game and everything that I encountered on the run. Finished in under 50% altar progress. Both chapters, Denial and Resentment, during light runs, okay, runs with a torch, and during infernal runs, or better to say dark runs. Multiple times during light and once during dark for both Denial and Resentment. I tested all classes. And I tested all subclasses on a previous patch. They haven't changed a thing. What changed? They nerfed your damage output. But they also nerfed enemies. There's a huge change now when you reach the final encounter for every map. Where instead of 2 fights against cultists, you get only 1 fight. And the first fight is way much easier, then the second fight is only Deacon or Cardinal, the third fight is always the Exemplar, and the Mountain is also a bit easier now, because you're gonna fight against Cardinal and then Deacon, instead of Exemplar into Cardinal and Deacon combined. They're gonna nuke you out and then you're supposed to fight the boss. Okay, so in those regards, it's way much easier now. Why they did it? First of all, it was absurd how hard it was on a previous patch. I barely finished the game 5 times for both chapters, even though I had all subclasses unlocked and everything unlocked. And second of all, since they introduced how you level up heroes and your stagecoach and everything, we're gonna go to the altar now. They also nerf some enemies because they plan to release chapter 3, 4 and 5, and then it's gonna be valid, I guess, because the difficulty is gonna go up as you move onwards. Chapter 3, 4 and 5 are not available right now. Now, the main question here that a lot of people ask me, how's the game, is it difficult? Yes, if you start the game for the first time, and yes, if you never played Darkest Dungeon 1. This is still, even though it's an easier difficulty, a bit easier difficulty now, it's still a very hard game. And without 20 or 30 hours in the game for you to chase hero shrines over here, do not even think about finishing chapter 1. Alright, if you don't know how the game works. And to know how the game works, you need to pay attention on positive quirks, to mix them up with other teammates, okay? Because every team build is absolutely valid. Everything that depends now is how well you pick quirks, positive quirks, negative quirks, and how well you pick subclasses. Okay, you unlock subclasses through altar. Basically every hero has its defensive version, offensive version, and support version. Okay, and every hero basically can cover from spot 4 to spot 1, depends on a subclass and on a quirk of how you wanna play. For new players, it's an extremely hard game. I risked every run, I never had a single wipe of the team. The only time when I failed was at the mountain, at the final boss, and it was usually, in 99% of cases, resentment boss sitting side. That's where I got killed 4 or 5 times at the very end of the game. I never had a wipe during a map. And I heard that a lot of people had wipes on map 1, map 2, and I guess why is it so? Because they don't know how to pick a team, they don't know how to use skills, they don't know where to go on a map and what to prioritize. And what to upgrade on the altar now. Because now you need to think about 5-6 different things while you play, not only on combat. On a scale from 1 to 10 for beginners, this is 10 out of 10. For me, when I started, it was close to 10 out of 10. Now I would say the difficulty is 7-8 out of 10 of how hard the game is. I guess I need to see other chapters too. As far as quirks go, there are some broken ass quirks, positive quirks that can completely change the run and how you play. Okay, flat damage quirks mostly, and if you combine them well with a subclass, for example a quirk that gives 10% range damage, and then there is a subclass that gives 25% damage, range damage, that's 35%. You find a trinket with 20% range damage, that's 55, and then you can steamroll through the entire game only with one trinket and solid quirks. Now you won't always get solid quirks. Okay, and for the beginners, it's recommended for them to play as a wanderer, subclass, or better to say basic class, because that's how you accumulate candles. Everything about this Altar of Hope patch is about candles. Accumulating candles so you can level up and make progress as fast as you can. By as fast as you can, there is no single run that you're gonna reach the end without 3 to 5 hours. Depends whether it's during daylight or whether it's infernal night. Okay,
and
so
let us hope enough yet remains of the world.
Let's go to altar.
Little by little,
and see the main
your
changes.
recollection mends the rifts of this Sunday.
As I said at the beginning, this is bugged out unfortunately, but icons are here in the bottom left. The most important upgrade would be the journey, and that's the main feedback and the main problem about the game and how much it delays your time and how brain dead it actually is. Once you unlock journey to the max, you unlock inventory slots that are the most important. You also unlock drops along the way, but inventory slots. With maximum stagecoach unlocked, you get only 22 inventory slots. I fill them up in less than 5 minutes of playtime, and then I waste at least hour, if not hour and a half, in a 5 hours long run to organize inventory because of the stupid inventory. That's the first thing that the devs should change. You should start with 30 inventory slots. I don't wanna play into Fator every time, go for the boss that gives 25 inventory slots. I wanna chase other bosses too, and their trophies are completely useless compared to Fator boss, what was it? Child, and its trophy with 25 inventory slots. There is no playing without inventory. You need to accumulate combat items, you need to prepare for the final boss and get healings, blind, bleed, and so on. Holy water, it doesn't matter. Then you need in items to accumulate, not waste them on a third map so you can be prepared for the mountain. Okay, and all of that takes spots. If you don't have the boss head that gives 25 inventory slots, you're basically fucked. And that same applies for infernal runs and for regular runs. It just fucking sucks. You should start with 30 inventory slots. I can't even explain how time wasting it is and how freaking annoying it is. I don't enjoy doing it. 200 hours in a game. In all patches. So far. There is nothing fun about it, okay? Rotating items. Also, when you drop items, you gain shit. You should gain at least a bubble or a relic or I don't know what, a candle if you drop a unique trinket. What's the point of having items in a very small inventory and once you drop them, you gain nothing out of them? There is no satisfaction for the player. It's only annoyance, and it's only additional stress, and it's time wasting. So all of that I counted, inventory slots, boss trophies, rewards, what you gain for ditching items, those things need to be changed ASAP for the game to be more fun and more enjoying. You can up the difficulty with enemies. Buff them up, because now they're not strong enough. Buff enemies for the difficulty. Not fucking inventory. Inventory is your main enemy, man. It's not enemies. It's inventory. The hardest thing in the game is to organize inventory, and then it's the game knowledge and how well you pick quirks and team composition. And how well you pick dots on a map where you wanna go. And then it's combat. Because if you know how to do those things, you're gonna know how to play in turn-based mode. Combat is actually on a 4th, 5th spot in the difficulty. Inventory is number 1. Because it's fucking retarded. 30 spots minimum for the start in a stagecoach. Also, Infernal Flame takes a spot in a stagecoach as an item, and that means when you play during night, you only have 3 stagecoach items equipped. Alright, count Infernal Flame. Put Infernal Flame somewhere else so we can equip 4 items. Because the game bombards you with stagecoach items and you don't have anywhere to put them, okay? There's very little space. So let's see the resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is fine, but I usually end up runs with a 200 bubbles. I don't use them at all, and I found a pretty simple solution for bubbles. You buy stagecoach items with bubbles. You buy combat items and in items with relics. Problem solved. You're gonna balance it out. Now you buy everything with relics, and you only buy trinkets with bubbles. Just a little switch. You buy stagecoach items for bubbles, and problem is solved. Very simple, because every time I end up with 200 bubbles. Because the game bombards you with trinkets. Non-stop. Especially if you know how to play and where to chase trinkets. Then bubbles are useless. You don't have anywhere to spend them. Renown is cosmetics, I don't even wish to speak about it. Companionship, that's coming soon. That would be, I guess, for relations. That are the second most important thing in the game. Aside from knowledge, it's relations and how well you organize your team. Whether they love or hate each other. And that was done really well. Always, when you start, you should always aim for relations and nothing else. Because they are the most important. So that would be for the Interpret Coast. The next one would be...
These are beaten, broken souls.
This.
And yet our fortunes
The working
ride with
fields.
them.
I've seen some early trinkets here that unlock later on, after 50, 60 trinkets. Those trinkets that could be useful for beginners when they start. They unlock after 50 or 60. I don't care about them, but I would if I was level 1 and start unlocking. Okay. Same can be said about... I think it needs to be a bit reorganized. Garbage items should be unlocked first and not the other way around. Some crazy good items are unlocked early on. They should be unlocked later on. Here. Aside from that, I believe the game is way too grindy. Look at the amount of candles. And how much it costs to unlock a single item. Okay. I unlock them nearly all. I can unlock them all if I want to now. But it's way too fucking much. It's grindy because you need to invest points into all of this. You need to invest points into the living city. Okay. Into every hero. Not to mention how much it's important to have all subclasses unlocked and everything that goes, you know, basic stats and so on. I like how it's done. I will just nerf the amount of candles by half. So it takes a bit less time when you play the game. So that's 64, 32 candles for everyone. And around 20, 22 for Bounty Hunt. And speaking about Bounty Hunt. First of all, I wish Bounty Hunter was available every time in the end. If you wanna make him as a bounty hunter, okay, he spawns periodically. Sometimes he spawns, sometimes he just doesn't spawn at all. And he only casts candles, okay, and for the starters they want to accumulate candles, and this one takes away candles from you. So this is a mega late game hero once you unlock everything, okay, that exists. That's when Bounty Hunter can shine. But for Bounty Hunter to really shine, you need 100 hours, if not even more, 150 hours in the game. And he was probably meant for later on, for chapter 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if you really want to play a Bounty Hunter, reduce his price in candles, 1 candle for example, okay, for people to actually have fun. You can easily play without him too. And make him available more often. Even if he was free all the time, I wouldn't change anyone in the end because he ruins relations. I play to have relations in yellow. After the first map, I wanna see all of them yellow. Okay. When I add a bounty hunter, I ruin relations. Relations are more important. Bounty hunter doesn't have relations. And that's extremely bad. It doesn't matter if he has all skills mastered. Relations are more important. Relations, they give you stress heal, they give you HP, they give you buffs, they give you secondary attack, they give you defense. They give you tokens. Bounty Hunter doesn't give shit. Out of all of those things that I said, he doesn't give a fucking thing. He just takes away candles for upgrades, nothing else. I see him useful once the full game is out in chapter 3, 4, 5. When you're really fucked, okay, after 10, 15 hours of playing, with memories and so on, with everything unlocked basically, and then Bounty Hunter comes in and saves the day. But right now, chapter 1 and 2, he doesn't have any point. Any point. At all. So the only thing that I would change here is 32 candles instead of 64, and it would be 10 times better. After the Living City, at the end we got the Timeless Wood Memories. Memories!
Warms the mind.
I did not even test memories because I finished all without memories. Memories make your heroes stronger, more resistant, they give speed, damage, death's door resist, disease resist. Damage over time resists and so on as you unlock and so, but it casts candles, okay. And again, this is mega late game. It wasn't even meant for the first 2 chapters. And I guess if they're still testing it, they need to balance it out. I don't wish to speak about it because it ain't important. You can finish the game without it. Without a single freaking candle into it. Okay. Sounds useful for chapter 3, 4, 5 once it's out. That's fine. Because who survives transfers to the next run. You start from chapter 1 to chapter 5. And they just get stronger and stronger. You keep quirks and so on. That's a great idea. But right now it means shit. It ain't important. Overall, I believe the game needs to be harder than it is right now, but not harder in terms of waste my time, harder with multiple fights, multiple ambushes, multiple crap that just gonna delay and delay and delay. I believe it needs to be faster with less ambushes but harder fights. So you can finish faster, and of course with a bigger inventory so you can advance faster. With prices and balancing, there's a lot of items I can speak about. For example, we can pass through every fucking thing that exists. Okay? I can also unlock all now, and then we can pass through it. I won't unlock heroes, I don't even need subclasses, I know what they do from the previous patch. And let's unlock all. I hope I have enough to unlock all. Go with trinkets first. And we're gonna pass through everything. What I believe is good and what should be changed.
And overcome it. Every twinkling recollection is another implement at our disposal.
There's also hero items too. I can't pass through them, I haven't unlocked everything. Fair, thanks for the follow. But I know what they do from the previous patch. Hero items are good. I wouldn't change a fucking thing with hero items. They cover all subclasses. Every hero has 3 trinkets for 3 current subclasses. And that's fine. Trash kit was the last. I would stump the game with Trash Kit, by the way. I can say we unlocked all items in the game. It says 92% because in the Living City, there are hero upgrades. They give their own unique trinkets, already said that. Nah. Collection. Ablative powders. Useless. Delete from the game or change. Useless. Academic cache location scouting. It says it's rare. They are far better. Reduced price maybe for this shit. Crazy good item, adrenaline tonic. I wouldn't change a single stat. Concoctions and powders, production, all of those things that actually produce stuff are good. Not only this one, every stagecoach item that produces stuff is good. Can be useful for mega beginners, anti-venom. Otherwise, completely useless item. Armor repair kit, extremely good thing, in the end. Garbage. I don't know what to do with relics and bubbles, and this increases quantity. At least make it increase more. I would never equip this on a stagecoach. Okay. Never. Change this shit. Again, bandages, extremely good for mega beginners. Completely useless. I always drop them, even when I don't have a single combat item. Bear trap. Great for those tricks when you play first to remove dodge from enemies, and only for that. Basically every item that does something like bear trap, explosives, bombs, traps, spikes, they are used to remove buffs from enemies, armor, dodge, and so on. They're absolutely great, essential to play. It doesn't matter what you equip from all of those traps. They all do the same thing. Pack the damage and the passive, immobilize, so on and so forth. The only important thing is to remove buffs from enemies. It doesn't matter what you throw at them, what kind of trap. Blasphemous Idol, absolutely crazy good. Wouldn't change a thing. Stagecoach equipment, you know what, if you could have 20 stagecoach items as you move on instead of 4, then it would be very useful, because you only have 4. Why would you got 22 fucking slots when upgraded. When you're a beginner you got 14, 12. Where will you put freaking stagecoach items? Now imagine if it's 200% increased looting chance. You're gonna stop on every 30 seconds to drop shit. If the inventory was bigger, then it makes sense. If the stagecoach was bigger, then it makes sense. Otherwise, I would change this shit. Flat stress resist. Yeah. Again, good for those that learn how to play the game. Completely useless other way around. You can always control stress if you know what you're doing. Aside from the end. Stealth, good on squishes, essential for runaway, for plague doctor, for grave robber, for basically for all squishes. Extremely good on a leper, poet, monarch leper, book of creative insults, great on men-at-arms, vanguard, sergeant, subclasses, great on Hellion Carcass, can be good on a highwayman, yellow hand, and rogue. Great item. Order location scouting again. I wish it occupies some other spot. Like you got maybe in a stagecoach 4 slots for rare stagecoach items, and then you got 8 spots around your stagecoach for shit and garbage items like this. You know, then it would make sense to use it. Right now it's whatever. Again, good thing for beginners. Poetry. Completely useless. At least for me, completely useless. Ablative powders, clothing plus shimmering powders, and laudanum by 6 per stack. We wouldn't have this issue, and the problem if the inventory was bigger. Again. And it occupies a stagecoach slot. That's also very small. Change something. Great item, boxing gloves. Completely useless burn salve. Completely useless. I always ditch it first when I see it. And don't make me start about mold. Goddamn fucking mold, and when you created mold. You can put a fucking needle in a stagecoach and then you smack an obstacle and you see a mold. For 150 hours when you see a mold, it's like someone threw shit at you. Not an item. Fucking shit. In your face. Calming Incense. Great. Both for beginners and those that play. Because it's multiple. On 2 targets. Stress heal in the end. Candles of Hope. For fuck's sake. Remove candles from inventory. You already have very little space, even when upgraded to the max, and then comes candles that are extremely important, that occupy inventory space, and they occupy 1 inventory space for 2 candles. I drop candles when I play, because I always go to the end. I never stop at first, second, third, and I always go to the mountain. And I always have a problem of candles in the inventory. And then I'm dropping candles and then I have lower amount of candles when I finish. Put them somewhere else. Where is mastery point? Put fucking sign for a candle and how many candles you got. That's the worst mechanic. I mean, I love candles mechanic for upgrades and so on, but during gameplay it's the fucking worst thing that exists. This is the first thing that should be changed. Fucking candles. And how much spot they occupy. Candles and chocolate, one of the best in items in the game. It should remain like this. It's absolutely crazy good, especially when you get it at the start. The currency, whatever. Bubbles. Chalk dust. Useless. I always dish this shit. Useless. If it was give stealth and remove stealth, then I might consider using it. Only remove. Useless. Fill hospitals is good, but again, you see, you have fill hospitals is rare. That's what I'm talking about. 4 slots for rare items in a stagecoach and 8 slots for garbage stagecoach items above. And then you equip hospitals as a rare in the bottom, and then you go and equip, I don't know, some other shit that's not rare above. Producing restorative items. There's a lot of restorative items. This can also backfire, occupy your inventory. Basically, inventory is the biggest problem in the game. Traveling heal is great. Absolutely great. Poultice is... right now it's useless, because very few enemies do stun. Okay? Very, very few of them. You're gonna get stunned like in 5 hours, you're gonna get stunned twice. If ever. But twice. Let's say twice. So you can use it for the denial and game pass. This. You keep it in your inventory, you reach Denial Mountain, and you apply this in the end before entering the fight with the brain. On your counter. Or on your squishy, on whatever, okay? But other than that, this item's useless. It might be useful in chapter 3, 4, 5. Bleed resist. I usually drop them when I don't have space, so that says it all, I guess. Garbage that I never used in my life for 200 hours of game time. Looting powders. Volticius garbage item. It should occupy some other inventory slot in the stagecoach, as I said. Rare items below. Shit items above. And then you can decide to use the shit. One of the best items in the game, Crow's Pit. You wanna fight the cultists. There is no fighting the cultists without this. You put it on your highest speed hero. You apply this and you remove dodge. Fuck bleeding, it doesn't matter. And reduce speed and move resist and so on. The only thing that matters here is AoE. All enemies. Remove dodge, remove armor. Absolutely crazy good item. One of the most important items for beginners or for those that play long. Now, I already said I would like to see all of this crap stagecoach equipment somewhere else, not here. In those 4 slots. Additional slots are required for crap like this. 15% location scout. Dartboard. Crazy good item to have before the final boss. For the final end. I never used death cap spores in my life. To me personally, it's completely useless, and I finished game multiple times, all chapters. What can I say about it? This is the best thing that you can get on a map. Okay, after the creatures then. Absolutely crazy good. Move is more useful than stun resist. Hey. They can remain. Complete garbage this item, by the way. Mega garbage. That occupies slot and nothing else. I said that for those things that you throw at enemies, cocktail and AoE, Greek fire, extremely good, both of them. Greek fire is better because it's AoE, but they're both extremely good. Fisherman's net, good with that trinket, you can stun enemies. If you combine this Fisherman's net with a trinket, and only then it's useful, other than that it's garbage. But if you have it, it's non-stop stun. And here we are with mold. Can you delete mold from the game? Please. Delete mold from the game. Stale bread, great. Apples and cheese, mandatory. The best freaking food that you can get is steak and spuds. I wouldn't change a fucking thing with this. This is a useful item, food barrels. Because inventory is very small, if you have this, it's gonna be a bit easier along the way. Flapjacks are nice, I like it. I wouldn't change a thing here. Damage in Sprawl, damage in the Shroud, damage in Fator, damage in Tangle, all of those are good. if you get them early on. Extremely good. They changed the run completely. Mandatory healing salve. Trash kit is OP as fuck. I love it. Absolutely great item, Holy Bead Stew. Holy Water can be very useful if you have a leper in a team. It can be useful in a multiple ways, to be honest. It's a good item. Icebox. God forbid you have things that occupy slots even more. Okay, you don't have inventory slots and then this thing occupies even more space. Great item, Iker Bomb. Kinda useless. If you have it, use it, but whatever. Infernal Flame. I wish it gives more candles when you play in darkness. It ain't enough. On a success run, you gain 70 candles with a torch. Without, in dark runs, with all of these buffs, it sounds like you're gonna get 200 candles. No, you're barely gonna get 100, and below that if you go for the boss. 70 to 100 candles. It ain't enough. It should give more. Useless item, completely useless item, Invigorating Intoxicant, because why? You should use this before the boss, so you don't die on a death's door, but you'll always gonna have items that heal, that are way more important than death's door resist. You'd rather heal on a death's door than use additional death's door resist. Useless. It might be combined with some shitty heal. You become solid, like 5% heal, okay, only 2 points of health, and death's door resist, then it would be good. Other than that, it's garbage. Traveling Flame Drain is absolutely crazy good item for a stagecoach. Laudanum is probably the most important thing for everyone, especially for beginners. When you see Laudanum, you buy fucking Laudanum and you don't conserve Laudanum when you play. If you see 1 point of stress, you insta-heal that 1 point of stress with Laudanum. It's cheap, with a discount. If you get discount on it, it's even cheaper. And everything in this game is about candles and stress. And Laudanum is great for stress. Positive banter. Banter is extremely important. When you see a positive banter, you go for it immediately. It doesn't matter what percentage it is. Traveling heal also. Same can be said about this too. Now, I found it useful when I was starting the game, medicinal herbs. And they combine well with one trinket for the Plague Doctor. And only then they're useful. For mega beginners. I throw the shit when I see it though. Bandages, anti-venom, and burn salve. Useless. It's fuck. Change this shit. And it's rare. What's even funnier, medicine chest is rare. Meditative totem. It says removes negative quirk 67%. I feel like it's more 40% than 67 in my personal experience so far. Maybe up the chance a bit more. 70, 80. It always tells me, okay, whenever I want to remove a negative quirk that annoys me the most, this thing doesn't remove. When I want to remove a negative quirk that's whatever, then it removes. Maybe the best stagecoach item in the game is Merchant's Guild Seal. Discounts on everything. If you can find this, it's probably the best. Mop and bucket. Garbage. Disgusting garbage. Produce poultices, items, whatever with this shit. Same I can say about neutralizing powders. Useless. This is good. Because it's applying the in. That's don't resist. This is good. You keep it for the final boss, not during the map. You never use it during the map. Only for the final boss, for the mount. Noisemaker, absolutely great to apply on tanky characters, on Leper, on Hellion, Highwayman, Bounty Hunter, Man-at-Arms. You can also apply on Grave Robber if you have 3 tokens for dodge, dodge plus, and then you apply taunt. Absent into taunt. Great item to remove dodge from enemies. Again, I say every item that says trap in description, great to remove dodge and armor from enemies. Pipe Weight, one of the best items in the game, and cheapest. Everything that gives yellow positive relations is absolutely great. Same can be set up for playing cards. Clear corpses. There are heroes that have spells to clear corpses. This occupies only 1 slot for consumable. I usually drop it. The shit can stun. It's extremely good. It's extremely good. Milk soaked linen. Only great if you have a leper. And only great if you go for Leviathan boss fight in the Shroud. Other than that, it's pretty much useless. Traveling heal is great. Restorative herbs. Roast pig is probably the best fucking thing in the game as far as food goes. Amazing. Scrap grenade. Again, every trap and every grenade is absolutely crazy good in this game. There is no playing without it. Shimmering powder is useless item. Maybe sometimes it can save a plague doctor or a runaway, but basically it's useless. Hero Shrines location scouting is mandatory for beginners. To me right now it's completely useless. Clear days and stun, gain speed. Could be good on denial boss, but again healing is more important. I would never take this shit to remove stun instead of healing. Smoke bomb, one of the best items in the game. Maybe a bit too OP because it adds 2 points of blind on enemies. Maybe it should add 1. Just maybe. You can spam buses, mini buses, with smoke bombs. And they're gonna miss in 50% of time. Songbook of Amorous Ballads, again everything that gives yellow is crazy good. I wouldn't change a thing. Again, this shit is OP as fuck. If you can go combo Songbook of Touching Dirges into a pig, you gain 3 yellow dots. And you gain stress, then remove that stress with a pig. They combine really well. It's always good to have speed, but in some cases you want to have low speed. It depends what trinkets you're wearing, I guess. You need to pay attention to your trinkets and your quirks when you apply this item, because it can ruin your entire run. Poultice useless item. All poultices are useless. If and only if they heal 5% and give resist, I would consider taking them from time to time. But other than that, I always ditch them. No matter if it's in items or combat items that provide flat resists. Terral Dust, I only found it useful on a Jester. to repeat Finelli. And on no one else. I am thinking right now who could repeat a spell. And I only see Jester valid for this site. Maybe Leper would withstand twice. Mandatory this shit with dodge. Again, all of those creature then, monster then items are great. All items that deal damage are great. This is... You can only find it in Oasis once you upgrade a stagecoach. And you should conserve this shit for the final boss. Because it's great. Mineral rich spring water. If you can get invigorating stew, it's great. I wouldn't change a thing. Again, stew pot produces invigorating stew. Good item. Both. Stimulants, if you have a crit, you can make an enemy vulnerable. And then you apply stimulants on a leper, and it can go above 100 damage. That's the combo, basically. Speed is always good in the end. Stitching kit is way too expensive. Nerve the fucking price. It heals for shit. And you don't need to heal because you have traveling heal. Stitching kit needs a complete rebalance. I wouldn't pay 2 relics for it. Not to mention 10. I buy it only when I'm fucking rich and I don't need relics. But it's useless. Storage trunks, I would raise them to +8. Same can be said about strongbox, same can be said about jumbo storage trunk. This should be 12, not 6, 12. Because the boss gives you 25. This should be 12. Reduce negative banter is great. Location scouting, I guess good when you don't have anything else to equip. But basically it's garbage. One of the best items in the game that you can throw is this thunderclap grenade. It can also stun enemies. And this thing can produce thunderclap. It's good. Glimmer of hope. When you start the game, you have hope non-stop. When you unlock all items. And that's the main problem with the game that I'm seeing right now. When you go with day runs, okay, torch runs, call it however you like. You open a new game, you start, and in the every end, on every corner, there's a glimmer of hope to buy. And when you run over obstacles, it can drop. It never drops when you unlock all. I played the last 5 runs, 4 5 hours long runs, so in 25 hours. За 21 минута. In 25 hours, I seen maybe 1 or 2 times a glimmer of hope. It should have at least 60% chance to appear, at least for the hoarder and the end, because it never appears later on. It should be a bit rebalanced of how often you can get. Useless item Toxic Ichor. Good item Spore Grenade, especially with a trinket. Creature Den and Oasis, good. Good. You should always rush for Creatures Den. Always. And for the Oasis also. Absolutely crazy good item, Trap Maker Kit. It produces trap items, and I said traps and bombs are the most important thing in the game as far as combat goes. From these trinkets, I wouldn't change. The Chalice is great. Carcanet is great. I wouldn't change a thing. Cleansing Clasp. It's so fucking OP on a leper. I don't have words for it. Right? Because leper never has blind if you give him this item. On my previous run, when I won now, Resentment, Dark Run, this item helped the most. Absolutely crazy good item. Hard to trigger, but crazy good. Full heal and full stress heal. And you rotate that between your characters. It's so fucking great, I don't have words for it. Garbage might be good on a grave robber, but then again I would rather give her crit or flat damage than 66% chance to go to stealth. Because most of the heroes can dodge, armor up and so on. And they have their own personal stealth. Again, the shit on a leper converts blind to damage. And not to mention, if you go dark runs with leper, it's absolutely crazy. It gives speed also. Garbage item. I would remove this shit from the game. Peculiar pots. All items that have random ally on turn start are crazy good. All. If flame less than 40 days, if enemy is the garbage. Rousing Ringer. Crazy good sneaker standard. Especially if you play during light on Men at Arms. Or on a Carcass or Poet Monarch. Flame less than 40 combo apply on hit can be really good, but you need to know how to play the game. Same thing can be really good on a riposte characters, only on riposte I would say. Apply to attacker with hit combo. This item, I think only Librarian can drop. Charred Litany. If you have a runaway, it's really good. Only on a runaway. Can be useful on a Plague Doctor, but better on a run. Again, this is for Arsonist runaway item. Can be good. Good on everyone. Especially the speedy characters. Especially those that have AoE. All items on turn end are great. I wouldn't change a thing. Positives, negatives, everything's fine. Good on a runaway. Dodge to dodge plus. Okay, it's fine. For the first, second map. Good on a runaway. Good on a runaway. Good on a runaway. Stars need to align for this item to work. On Hellion, on Leper. But stars need to align to get an extraction. Fisherman's Line, one of the best items in the game, best trinkets in the game, but you need to combine it with with Fisherman's Net and with a Scrap Grenade. Open Vein build might profit out of this. Same, all of those bleeding items. Hellion, Highwayman. But basically I would never take them. I would always take flat damage, flat crit. Compass is fucking epic on everyone. Great on Men at Arms, great on everyone. And this stained items and how you merge them with these things. I believe this shit needs a complete rebalance. All of these items, okay? Everything. Because penalties are way too fucking huge. And there are so many better trinkets, these indelible trinkets, than these things. I played a lot. I never found a single use for this because penalties are just way too huge. That it's basically when you combine them, it doesn't matter what you combine with what, but when you combine them, it's always that the negative overwhelms the positive. I believe they all need to be rebalanced, because frankly I would rather take a rare blue item than the shit. And I really seen them all. I don't know, maybe I need to play more, maybe I need to play only with them and test, okay, but for example 100% damage minus 30 damage per round. One stupid shit happens and you're fucked. And in this game a lot of stupid shit can happen during combat. No, negatives are just, they overwhelm positives. They need to rebalance all of this. I don't see a point. Okay, I don't see a point in any out of this. Unforgettable trinkets. Trust me, they're forgettable. They're not unforgettable, they're forgettable. I usually ditch them when I see them. All indelible trinkets, aside from the sundial, absolutely all of these trinkets are great aside from sundial. All of them. Some are actually OP, but they work on all subclasses. You can really mix them well. And they change the run. They really change the run a lot. All are great. From these blues, I'll only say what sucks, what's good, I'll just skip. I believe these things, okay, apply daze on hit, apply speed on miss, apply, I don't know, lower damage on hit, blind on miss, and so on, you know, items like that, they're completely useless. I would never take them. Never. Like this, okay. Apply stealth, but gain vulnerable. Apply something, but gain a negative, and so on and so forth. I would never go with it. This, all of this, I would change. I usually ditch them. But if it's each ally and a negative, then it's good. One hero only. This, different story. Each ally. Stone Mount is crazy good. Trumpet is great. Armory key is great. This is again garbage. Positive, negative. Again, a garbage. These are good. This is garbage. Mega garbage. Immobilize on hit. Why would I apply immobilize on hit when most of the heroes move around? I found it, Thrilling Tablet. I never had a chance to use it because I always had a healthy team. So I don't know how it would work if you only have one or two of them and they play with this. Maybe in chapter 3, 4, 5. These are unique trinkets for subclasses now, all of this. And you unlock additional as you spend candles into here. I wouldn't change a thing. Every subclass has a specific trinket. They're all good. But really, all of them are good. These indelible hero trinkets. They should call them differently. Indelible trinkets are these, and these should be called differently because they're class, subclass specific trinkets. I would change the name of the trinkets or description of trinkets. And the color, so you don't confuse players. On the bottom line, there are high risk and reward trinkets. The stars need to align for you to go 5-5-5 with 5 stress. Sounds good. It's gonna happen in like 0.1% of time that you do this. Unless you wanna do it on purpose and stuff. That's a good stagecoach. Trinket organizer. Flat resists. And their mini versions. Flat health and their mini versions. All of them over here. Okay, everything that gives resists. All of this. Everything that you see is garbage. Complete and fucking garbage. Because there are so many better trinkets than this. And then there's this epic trinket, Grated Gilded Mind. That's worth it. Okay, even its lesser versions. Gilded Mind and I don't know where's the white one. There is the white version of it. Oh, here. These three are great. Everything else sucks over here. Because I would rather equip something like flat damage or flat crit than resist bleeding. And in most cases it's good to bleed. Because there are spells that heal when bleed, heal when blight, heal when burn. Consumables that do the same. Okay, sometimes it's good to have those damage over time effects. Geraldo, thanks for the follow. So in most of the cases, 80% of time you want to be damaged with damage over time instead of flat damage, because then you can heal. Flat damage, you can't heal. You can, but if you find consumables, of course. Now, what's left? Speed. Great. Bastros. I don't even want to check them out because I know at the start that Harvest Child has the best freaking trophy in the game, and I said how it's the main problem aside from candles. Okay, the only trophy that you care about when you play and you wanna finish the run without headaches is this one. Everything else, all other boss trophies, you don't even need to look at them because you need inventory slots. Now, if they decide for a full game release to go with a bigger inventory, minimum 30 slots, minimum 30, then I can consider taking trophies from the other bosses. Only then. Right now, you should not even go for other bosses. You should go for Harvest Child, for the inventory slots. Until they decide to change things. I don't like to play and waste fucking time on sorting out inventory. And this is the only thing that saves you from that in the entire game. It's a head that doesn't give you headache. This one. Warhorn is great. Absolutely great. This is garbage. Wax. Whetstone is great. Whiskey barrel is good. Whiskey bottle is good. Whiskey flask is good. Especially for beginners. Produce whiskey. One of the better items in the game is the wild tea. Bow and items is great stagecoach equipment. And that's about it. So, I said what I believe it sucks, and what's good, what should be changed, what's useless. Basically, right now, this game has 3 huge problems, and all start with inventory. Inventory slots. It all starts with inventory slots. So, the first thing that should be changed should be more slots. The second thing that should be changed is candles, so they do not occupy slots. And the third thing that should be changed is difficulty. It should be a bit harder. It shouldn't be as absurd as on a previous patch, Oblivion Ingress, but it shouldn't be like it is right now. It should be something in the middle. Out of those two. If they can find the right balance for it. Something like that. The game ain't user friendly, especially for new players. Maybe consider taking, like, you have chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 planned. Maybe give chapter 0 for people to learn how to play the game. Because if they never play Darkest Dungeon 1, they gonna get stumped in Darkest Dungeon 2. Because Darkest Dungeon 2 is unforgiving. In Darkest Dungeon 1 you had slow progression. Learning curve. Okay. And then you learned how every item works on every next run. Here, when you start Darkest Dungeon 2, the game just throws everything in your face. Everything, including all skills, all subclasses, all items, quirks, positives, negatives, everything is in your face immediately. So maybe have a chapter 0 for slower progression, so people can actually learn how to play. That also might be for the full release. Or better to say, you need a good tutorial. It ain't enough for you just to write over here. People need to experience how everything works. I mean, this is a great tutorial. Absolutely great tutorial. It has all essential things in it, but one thing is to read and the other thing is to test something. The fourth problem is how grindy the game is. Reduce freaking candle costs at least on heroes. Instead of 64, let it be 32. So, inventory slots, candles, boss trophies. Candles and inventory slots are directly connected to the boss trophies. They're gonna be more useful instead of going for the plus 25. Difficulty and one easier map for beginners. Tutorial map, call it however you like. Reduce candle cost so you can progress faster. Because every run is 4 or 5 hours long. Do you believe that everyone will sit down and play for 150 or 200 hours? You need a faster progress. Then of course some trinkets, rebalancing, and higher and harder difficulty with the upcoming chapters. And the last thing that I want to talk about after all of this is, in my point of view at least, and the things I like the most, enemies variety and maps variety. It ain't fucking enough. It just ain't enough. Right now we got 4.5 maps. That's way too little. It gets way too repetitive, especially when you spend 150 hours in a game playing through Tangle and Shroud and Fator and then what remains loose. Give more maps, man. Change colors. Okay. Just change fucking colors. At least 4 or 5 new maps. More diversity in goals. And bigger diversity in enemies. That's what I would like to see the most. Aside from balancing. Diversity. Basically. From what I've seen from the altar, and I've seen it all, it should be a great game when it's out. I believe I'm done with grinding. Maybe I'll have like one run a week for fun, because there's nothing else left for me to see. But I'm gonna start playing something else. I'm really done with Darkest Dungeon 2, at least with the Altar of Hope. I don't want to grind that much. And there is no need. Why would I grind if I finished everything? I don't know if I got anything else to add about it. I guess not. Yeah, it is early access. It's still early access. February 2023 should be the full release. Now, I don't know how many hours I spent in the game. I'm that curious now, too. Let me see. In experimental, I got 4 days and 17 hours. That's like 100 plus hours. And in this one, 2 days, 150, 160 hours in a game so far. But, guys, that's gonna be it for today. I'm off to eat and I'm off to bed. We continue tomorrow. I thank you all for watching. And the next stream should be in around 16, 17 hours from now with a new game. I won't play Darkest Dungeon at least in the next 7 days. I want to chill out from it a bit. People, thanks for watching. Wish you all good night.